Welcome to the Relaxed Dog Podcast, the podcast where the dogs are the stars of the show. Welcome to episode 90 of the Relaxed Dog Podcast, sponsored by therelaxeddog.com. Thank you very much for finding this show. Welcome back to our regular listeners and a special welcome if this is your first show. I am your host, Robert Ober, and I hope that you and your dog are well. My guest this week is Parul Sandu Verma, and she is going to be telling us all about Snowy. But first, in some doggy news, we go to the US and to Michigan, and sometimes things just take time. A mixed breed by the name of Kashmir has spent 8 years in the shelter system until getting a guest appearance on a morning TV program where a couple saw Kashmir, immediately went down and met Kashmir and took her home. That was 6 months ago, and they are still today one happy family. Staying in that area, a 7-year-old Alaskan Klekai by the name of Pepper got away from her guardian, ran out onto some ice on Lake Michigan, and unfortunately the bit of ice she got on started drifting away. When the Chicago Fire Department eventually rescued Pepper, she was on an ice drift about 500 feet away from shore, and Pepper's guardian is now taking extra care to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Now, I know that you know how awesome dogs are, but I'm guessing you have some friends that don't quite know how awesome they are and how awesome the stories on this podcast have been. So make sure you tell them and spread the word. I would really appreciate it. Anyway, here's this week's interview. Welcome to the Relaxed Dog Podcast. I am here with Parul Verma. How are you today?
So, namaste from India, and thank you so much for having me here. Pleasure knowing you.
A pleasure is mine. Thank you very much. So, you said you're from India. Whereabouts in India?
So, I'm from Ahmedabad. It's a very beautiful city. And it's summers now, so hot climate.
Nice. And who is going to be our subject for today?
So today we are going to talk about Snowy, our little Miss Sunshine.
Lovely. So, as per usual, I'm going to ask you to take us back in time to just before you and Snowy met, and tell us about the hows and the whys that happened.
Okay, so Snowy has a long story with us. So this goes back 3 to 4 years back when we were posted in a different city. Mm-hmm. So she is a community dog, and the society in which we used to live, even Snowy was there. And with Snowy, there were too many other community dogs as well. So since I'm an animal activist and a feeder also, the feeding, I used to do feeding, taking care, this work was going on. One fine day from our society, this conflict, the human and animal conflict started And society started saying that all the dogs should be removed from their premises. The management told us. So this is how one tension and stress time started. We were not allowed to feed stray dogs inside the area of that society. So, and Snowy was one such kid who would not go out. She was not a kid who would venture out of the society. So, feeding her was becoming a big tension for me. One fine day, we saw she came all up to the eighth floor. I don't know from where she got to know that we are from eighth floor, the flat number. She knew everything. She came and stood outside my gate. The moment we saw her, we were like so happy, you know. We got her inside, fed her food, and made her out again that you need to go now. This thing continued till 2 months. Daily in the morning, she used to, climb up, come to the eighth floor, and in between there were guards also to beat her. But somehow she's very intelligent. She's an intelligent kid. So she somehow managed to come there and have her food and then go back. Later on, I started realizing that because of the tension that we were having as a feeder, I was constantly attacked verbally by people. They were harassing me a lot. So we had decided to leave that society and shift to another society. Now, Snowy's tension, it started coming to my mind because Snowy would not go out. And then who would feed her? So I started trying for her adoption before leaving. I started on a social media, all the friends of mine, and finally, an hour's away, this guy was an hour's away place settled. He agreed that he will take Snowy. Me with my friend drove all the way to that place, but we found that this boy was a fraud. Oh, no. His number was wasted that day, and we couldn't find his address. And what to do? We were totally disheartened. We came back again with Snowy and left her in the society. The first adoption failed. Second time, I had taken few of the dogs from our society and kept in my husband's office premises so that they were safe there. We decided that Snowy would be better in that office premises. So the second time we took Snowy in our car and drove to my husband's office, tried settling her there, but other dogs would not, entertain her.
Okay.
They started barking at her. Even she started barking at them. And somehow this thing also didn't materialize. Second time again, she came back. So then one day we had to leave the society. I already had a dog in our house. We are having pug. So we thought already we have one dog. Let one of my friends take care of Snowy, and she should be in that society only. With that note, we left that society and shifted to another society. After 5 days, I got a call from my friend that Snowy was constantly crying. She was not eating food, constantly crying. I went there outside the society and I called out Snowy. You would not believe, she literally jumped in my car. She wanted to be with us, And I also, I cannot leave Snowy again. So directly I took her to my home and we welcomed her. Okay, so this is Snowy is with us now as a family. So she was fine first day. She enjoyed being at our home. Second day, I noticed that Snowy is little cranky and crying again and going and standing on the door as if, she wants to go out. So somehow we got that Snowy is not comfortable staying in the flat. we had a flat. Again, I took Snowy in my car, drove back to that society, and settled back in that society. That okay, you be here. That was, I think, in the evening, around 6 o'clock. Very next day, to my utter surprise and amazed by this thing, when I was standing in the balcony of my flat, I saw Snowy running from there. she she came from that society to my society because these two societies were close by.
Mm-hmm.
She knew all the way, and she knew exactly which flat we were in. And I saw she was running. Oh my goodness, that was such a moment for us. I went down, got her up, and told her, baby, you have decided now to come back to us. So be here. And Robert, since then, Snowy is our little girl. She has settled beautifully. No one can say that she is a community dog. Mm-hmm. She's so pretty, so beautiful. And all my friends and family said that Snowy is a grown-up dog. So it would be difficult to train her. How would she know the, orders and everything? I personally believe you don't need orders. You don't need training. These kids are so intelligent that without any training, Snowy understood everything. All the instructions, all the instructions, she had her place to sleep. She knew each and everything. Mm-hmm. So since past day, we had no problem with her.
Okay. So how was Snowy and the other dog that you had?
Okay. So other dog is Brownie. So Brownie is a pug. Yeah, Brownie is 8-year-old pug. Mm-hmm. So now the pugs, I don't know, Brownie and Snowy could not get along very well since first day. Snowy is little indifferent and so is Brownie. They both are like, please stay away from me kind of attitude. So Snowy keeps away, Brownie keeps away. They don't mingle at all.
Okay. And where do they sleep in your apartment?
So Brownie and Snowy both have habit of sleeping with us on our bed. Initially, since Brownie used to sleep and we got Snowy a bed. And we used to put that on the side of the double bed so that she can have her own place to sleep. But after a couple of days, she just jumped one fine day on the bed. And so it's a chaos. It's a total chaos on the bed now. They both sleep with us only.
How was your husband with that?
Thankfully, my husband is, he has been very supportive of this cause. And since first day, the moment we started feeding Snowy, and I added her in my extended family. My husband also welcomed her, and he's very supportive, and he adores Snowy. So it was a mutual decision when she came back again in our society because she wanted to be with us. So I always tell, it is not we who decides; it is them who decides. He chose us that, yes, you are my family now. So husband is okay.
Yeah, nice. And how are they when they are feeding together? Is there any problems?
Snowy is very hyperactive kid because she must be around 3 to 4 years now. Mm-hmm. And Brownie is 8 years. So Brownie is little cool and calm sort of a kid. So sometimes when we feed both of them together, Brownie eats very slow. So Snowy would complete her food and then jump to Brownie's food also. So this tussle is there.
Brownie wasn't too annoyed with that, was he?
Brownie is sometimes, yes,
Yes.
Brownie is because earlier, Brownie was the king of the house.
Mhm.
And now Snowy is there. So he thinks that she is the princess of the house. So there is this little uneasiness between these two. They both stay away from each other.
So does Snowy also sort of go out and do like roaming by herself, or after she moved in with you, did you go and take her out like for walks and things like that?
Okay. Since she is a community dog, a stray dog, so full society, it was a huge society in kilometers of areas. So she has habit of moving around.
Mhm.
But once she shifted with us, the first day we thought, she would not be comfortable with the leash. But surprisingly, she was so comfortable. The moment we tied the leash and said, okay, Snowy, we have to go out for a walk, she was so beautiful in her walk. She started walking with us side by side with Brownie, went out, did everything, and came back. And since then, the moment she feels like nature call is there, she starts crying. And that is how we understand.
Mhm.
We take her out, make her comfortable outside. She'll make her free and come back again. So, most comfortable thing. No issues with that.
Very nice. So what sort of area is a usual walk for both of them when you go out?
See, generally, we try to cover long areas for Snowy because she's a big dog, full grown up big dog. She needs that kind of a exercise. Ours is a flat. So generally what we do, we take Brownie and Snowy together, but Brownie cannot walk for long period of time. The pugs have a tendency of, just going covering little distance and then they get tired.
Yep.
So one of me and my husband, we go together and one of us get back home with Brownie, the pug, and Snowy continues because she needs that kind of exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So it is 2 times, morning and evening.
And is there any sort of like a park area or anything like that's within walking distance?
See, we have areas for dog walking. So generally, all the dogs are they're meant to go that side only. So there are areas wherein you can walk your dogs.
Okay. And how is Snowy with other dogs when she's out with you and on a lead? Because it'll be something a little bit different. Was there anything that you noticed there?
So this is one very we still fail to understand when we go out. All the community dogs are there. Back at Indore, the city from where we got her. Today we are in Ahmedabad. So wherever we go out, there are packs and packs of community dogs. But now Snowy has a problem with each and every dog.
Oh, no.
The moment she steps out of the house, she'll start barking on other dogs. So I think it's in her personality.
Mhm.
She's introvert, and that is why I guess she's confined to herself.
What do you think she's saying to the other dogs?
Lucky me. And this, I really wish all the community dogs around her they also get to their respective homes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So does Snowy have any like favourite toys or anything like that?
There was one toy of Brownie. It's a soft toy of elephant. So Brownie is very possessive about this toy. And when Snowy came, we got her different set of toys. But Snowy has her eyes intact on Brownie's elephant. So now she has taken over that elephant. So she cuddles and plays with that elephant.
Oh, how was Brownie with that?
Poor kid. Brownie must be disheartened, I guess. So we got him again a different elephant. So both of them can have soft toys and don't fight with each other.
And does she play any sort of like different games that you play with her, or?
See, she is a community dog. The moment they are born on the road, all the focus is on getting a one-time meal. Even that is very difficult for them because she's not seen that life. But now she's here. She plays with that elephant. We gave her different balls and different rings, but she never enjoys playing. She sleeps. Mm-hmm. Sleeping is her favorite activity. She sleeps, and sometimes she'll come and sit with me on the bed, trying to, cuddle me types feeling. Mm-hmm. It's just that elephant that she sometimes plays. Otherwise, she's happy in her own space.
Nice. So when you say she sleeps, where's her favorite spot in the apartment to sleep?
We near our bed, there's one bed for her also, and we call it Apni Jaga. So the moment I say to her, Snowy, Apni Jaga. So Apni Jaga means your place. Mm-hmm. The moment I say, Snowy, to your place, Snowy would jump on that bed. Nice. So she has a favorite place to sit or maybe sleep sometimes, but she keeps shuffling. Mm-hmm. Sometimes she's on the sofa, sometimes on double bed, sometimes on that her bed. So it's like changing.
Okay. What sort of grooming do you do with her and Brownie?
See, Brownie is a pug, so definitely in Indian atmosphere, in Indian weather, pugs have problem. Too many issues are there with him. So it's a regular sessions we have to, the cleaning has to be proper. They have wrinkles here. Mm-hmm. So we have to take care of these wrinkles. Always, cleaning thing is we have to clean it properly. Give them bath time to time. But the best part about community dogs is they don't require any special kind of a thing. In this Indian atmosphere, in the Indian weather, they are so comfortable, so easy to, adjust. So it's just basic grooming that we do. Time to time bathing, time to time cleaning. That's it. Very, very basic.
Do you remember the first time you tried to give her a bath?
She was very afraid. Until today, she's afraid. She's very, very afraid of water. Mm. And even today, she would just run away. The moment we tell her that it's time to take bath, she understands that. And she changes the route. She'll go into hiding somewhere. So she's afraid of water. I believe she must be having some bad memories of water. Okay. From that society.
And what about, do you do any nail maintenance?
Of course, because when she was in that society, she always used to, run outside. So that was all stones and mud and little, uneven surface that used to take care of her nails. But here in the flats, they're all very smooth surface. So we have to get nail clipping, time to time. It's a must thing. Mm-hmm.
What about like her general health? Has she ever had any sort of like issues where you had to take her to a vet?
No. Touch wood. That is why, I strongly support that people need to adopt community dogs because they are so full of good health. Till now, touch wood, Snowy has been wonderful. No fever, no ticks problem, nothing at all.
Oh, good. One of the questions I ask everyone is to complete the sentence. I can't believe my dog ate.
Potatoes. And the moment I read that question of yours, and I instantly thought, what I would reply. It's got to be potatoes. And why potatoes? Uh, when she came to our house, and I was one fine day, I was cooking potatoes in the kitchen. The moment she got the smell of that potato, I really have no clue how she got to know. She came and stood in the kitchen, just looking at me. I was like, what do you want, baby? I could not imagine that she would have loved potatoes. Again, couple of days later, something of potato, some dish I was making. Again, she came in the kitchen and she stood and she was like looking at me. Then I gave her a small bite of that potato and she just enjoyed it. Since then, maybe, the reason here is people throw sometimes, half cut potatoes and vegetables in the trash. And these community dogs go and eat, those. They pick eatables from the trash. And I guess she must have had potatoes and she would have liked that thing. And now in the home, the moment it's in the kitchen, she will come running and stand there asking for more always.
Nice. What would you say her other favourite sort of treats and foods?
She loves watermelons. Again, I would have not imagined a dog having watermelon and so loving it. So whenever we eat watermelons, she will come and stand as if, Mama, I need to have it. So watermelons she loves. So these two things, potatoes and watermelon, are her favorite.
If I had to ask you, has there ever been a time where she's really made you worry about something or get upset? Do you remember anything like that happening?
No.
That's good.
Yeah, no. It's like, it's comfortable with her. She's always relaxed, as if she belonged to this place. And we get very positive energy from her. Mm-hmm. The kind of vibes you receive. I always believe that dogs do have positive vibes that they give to us, humans. Yeah. So Snowy is one such kid that I constantly receive very positive and high level of positive energies from her.
Mm-hmm. So does she go out with you on any sort of trips like that you take, or?
Actually, in India, generally, we don't have pet-friendly places that much. Mm-hmm. So the outings are very limited. And secondly, Snowy and even Brownie, both of them are not comfortable in the car. They have nausea problems.
Okay.
So, yeah, not many trips they both have taken.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's all right. I was going to ask, my next question was going to be, does she go with you when you go out to do any of your work that you do?
No, because I am taking care of many stray dogs, So it would become commotion kind of a thing if she is with me. I won't be able to.
Does Snowy have any sort of interesting or weird habits that you would say?
Even after, I think this is the plight of any rescued dog. Even after settling in our home, if, for instance, if we give her one biscuit, Brownie would eat that biscuit, but Snowy would take that biscuit in our garden and try to hide that biscuit somewhere. Mm-hmm. Maybe she has the fear that somebody might take that biscuit from her. So initially, now she's settled, but initially she used to do this thing. The moment we used to give her something to eat, she would run and try to hide that thing somewhere in the house so that she can get or eat that thing later on. Mm-hmm. So this again, I feel all the stray dogs, all the community dogs must be having this kind of a habit. The moment they get one bread, anything to eat, they would run, fearing that others might would attack. So she has this habit.
Okay. So you mentioned that you and the family now have a backyard. Do you remember, was there any sort of like when she first went and you moved from a unit to having a backyard and she got to understand that wow, this is my own space now?
See, we have a balcony, not exactly a backyard.
Oh, sorry.
Balcony. Okay. Yeah, balcony. But when we talk about Snowy, the second time when she came back to my place, and the moment she came home, she knew where to sleep. I fed her food and she made herself comfortable on the sofa, knowing that she belonged there. There was no fear. There was no tension. There was no stress, as if, somebody would beat her or maybe try to abandon her. She was free from all the stress. She made her comfortable and she knew that she belonged to this house. Since first day, she has been comfortable, as if, God wanted her to be here.
How is she with, say, other visitors to the house?
They're all intelligent people. The moment they know that this person is a dog-friendly person, she would just go mad, lick that person, cry, try to cuddle that person. But if she senses that this person is not dog-friendly, she would make sure to compel us to let her be in a room till that guest is gone out. So they know, dogs have that feeling and that energy within them, that they know if that the person is dog friendly or not. Mm-hmm. So she's comfortable with all the dog friendly people.
Nice. Has she had any interactions with any other animal species, like cats or anything like that?
No, she is never with cats. It's just with stray dogs, and that too, I feel Snowy was all alone. She never had her own pack. Like in that society, there were dogs, 4 dogs together, 5 dogs together. But Snowy was one such kid who was always alone. So she never had her own pack. So I guess there was no interaction.
Okay. Well, I guess she's made your family her pack.
Yes. Yes, exactly. God wanted, I guess it was some past connection between me and Snowy and my family and Snowy. So we somehow join hands.
Can you think of a time where she made you really, really proud?
I have been into this animal welfare since many years. And sometimes when I sit back and, the kind of determination I have for these voiceless, sometimes I want to thank Snowy also for this. She taught me to do this work wholeheartedly, because when I used to see her condition in that society, I could sense her plight. Being a stray is not easy. Being all alone by herself in a society who's after your life all the times. There is no guarantee of a single meal that you would be getting or not. And when we got Snowy in our home, and the way she was comfortable, happily settled, the more I used to talk to Snowy, the more I used to tell myself that I have to do more and more for the voiceless. So I guess somehow I feel, and I'm very proud of Snowy. She chose us and made us a part in her life. and taught me so many things to give my life for the voiceless.
Do you want to explain a little bit more when you say to let people know what you're doing and what Snowy has given you more enthusiasm to do?
See, earlier I was a home chef. I had a food business, and parallelly, I used to do my community dog welfare work also. Even I am a professional car rally driver as well. So I was managing all these three things together. But the moment, my family, extended family started, there are people who just focus on feeding dogs. But I cover all the areas of animal welfare. That is feeding a kid, feeding a dog, then sterilizing, then vaccination, treatment, and getting the puppies adopted. So I take care of all the 5 aspects of a dog's life. Mm-hmm. I am always on the road. The moment I get a call about any kid who is not well, who needs help, I make it a point to reach that spot and somehow tries everything to help. Right now, I am taking care of more than 80 community dogs.
Wow.
Single-handedly. I am not attached to any NGO or organization. It is me, myself only. There is no team. It's me. I am running always to take care of these kids. And I have a dream. I have a dream now that is to make a home for community dogs. Mm-hmm. We could adopt Snowy and give her a home that she badly needed. But there are hundreds of other dogs who are still waiting to be adopted. So we have decided that we will make a place, and I don't call it a dog shelter. It is going to be a dog home for community dogs, where they will get the respect, the love, and care that they truly deserve. So with Snowy coming here, this determination has, it is going to take a shape, and the determination, I definitely give credit to Snowy, because when she came to our house, I thought she has a home now, but what about others? Mm-hmm. So they too deserve a good life. Wow. So God willing.
It's a beautiful dream, and it will happen.
I so wish, I have left my food business. I've stopped cooking altogether. It's been more than 2 years because I was on the crossroads. I had to decide what exactly I want to do in my life, which way I want to go. Because doing 50-50, 50% times I was busy with my home food business, 50% of time in the dog work. So finally, my dogs, they won this, and I closed my food venture. And 24/7, I'm into this cause now.
And does Snowy or Brownie ever give you a different sort of look or feel after you've come home working with all the other dogs?
They must be feeling neglected, actually, because I don't get that much amount of time to sit with them, to spend time. It is my husband and my son. They both takes care. And I'm sure, Brownie and Snowy must be knowing that Mama is taking care of so many kids outside. Mm-hmm. So sometimes that look is there, definitely there. Though I try to cover up. I try to sit with them.
You just mentioned your son. How old was he when Snowy came into the house?
Yeah, my son was 12 and a half that point of time.
Okay. And
12, yeah.
And how was that sort of initially between Snowy and your son, and has that changed much over the last few years?
The best part here is it was my son who had started feeding Snowy initially.
Oh,
We
okay.
had, yeah, we had recently, shifted in that society, I guess around 4 years back. And I was very busy in my food venture. I already had too many other dogs to look after. My son found one day Snowy, and he came up running and said, Mama, there's a very cute white colored dog, and I don't know from where she came, but she's in our society. I saw her today. Since then, he started feeding her, and that is how I got to know.
Mhm.
So when Snowy came back to our house that day, it was my son also. He said, Let this be my birthday gift. Let us welcome Snowy.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, he has a very special bond with Snowy.
Hmm. What's your happiest moment that you can remember of the two of them together?
I have just one kid, and somehow, all these years, we always felt my son needed company. In the home, my son needed company, and Brownie, Brownie was not that active, and Brownie is into himself. When Snowy, when Snowy came home, Snowy and my son, they gelled. They are like fire, both of them together. They play together, and sometimes Snowy sleeps with my son only. So they play together, they go out for walks. So it is very beautiful to see them bonding. And I always wanted to have a daughter. I had a son and always wanted to have a daughter. So we call Snowy our daughter. So now it's like son and a daughter duo together. So he
Nice.
has a sister now. My son has a sister now.
Did they, don't know if I should ask, ever get up to any sort of mischief together?
Whenever we try to take Snowy for bath, she's afraid of water. So the moment Snowy knows that we are going to take her for bath, she would go running to my son, asking my son to help her in hiding. And then my son also takes her and go and sits, somewhere hidden, maybe in the balcony or maybe in the some restroom. They both together go into hiding. So this is how they complement each other.
Oh, nice. Is there anything else that's coming to mind, like any sort of adventures or special memory that you can think of now that we've been talking about Snowy for a little while?
See there right now also she's scratching the gate. See, Snowy has been introvert kind of a kid. She does not like to mingle with more people around.
Mhm.
We cannot take her outside because she's not comfortable sitting in a car. So she's not only adventure she did was how she came to our society and to my flat. So these adventures initially she did. Now she is in the resting mode all the times, sleeping peacefully, and I'm glad she's restful now.
She's found the spot that she is meant to be in.
Yes, totally.
It has been a pleasure talking to you. Do you want to let people know any sort of social links where they can find out or maybe even help you do what you do?
No, I'm my full name is Parul Sandu Verma, and I'm there on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. So I have my accounts there. So anyone can search me and see my work, what I do. One thing I would like to request to entire world community, whosoever, would be listening to this, that please be little compassionate and kindness towards the voiceless. They need us badly, and we as a humans can make a big difference in their life.
Yes.
So be empathetic towards them.
100%. Parul, thank you very much again. It's been a pleasure talking to you and hearing all about Snowy and Brownie.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you very much for listening. I hope that you enjoyed the show. A special thank you to our new listeners in Kansas City in the US and also in the US, Mount Clemens. So do some of your friends a favor and share this or any other episode. You can also leave a review, or join the Facebook group. Until next week, stay safe and remember, your dog is family.